I've helped students and startups bring their engineering projects to life using software like SolidWorks, MATLAB, and ANSYS. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I did it and how you can too. So stay tuned. Okay, so who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Nyasha Mrairwa. I'm a recent mechanical engineering graduate from the University of Zimbabwe. I have included most of my background on my website. You can check it out. It's a Wix website, so don't expect to see all the graphics. Plus, I'm a mechanical engineer, guys, not a website design. So if you check out the website, here's the link. In the About Me section, I've written how I started freelancing. I'll get that as we get to the. I'll get into that as we get into the end of the video. But yeah, it's a background of how I got here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a brief of the projects I have worked on. I have included it too on the website, right? So you just go on the portfolio. Let's click okay, the portfolio. So this was a batch management system I designed using Proteus, right? So as you can see, it consists of an Arduino Uno voltage sensor, car battery, and a one-channel relay module. And these bulbs are used to represent the load. So it might be bulb, it might be radio. So how it works is that as soon as the voltage of the battery goes below 11.8 volts, the relay is supposed to cut the power to the load, right? Okay, I will explain in detail more. I will draft a full video that explains this project, right? Let's go on. So this was a lost and found management system using VB.NET. I can't say I'm quite an expert in VB.NET because I developed this simple application in one day. It was for a student who wanted to go to school, and I only was given one day. So you can see the hassle. I had to learn about VB.NET in one day and develop this application, right? Moving on. So this is a CAD model of a hydraulic arm. Yeah, so you can see these syringes are used to mimic the hydraulic. Okay, and it had a camera at the end. I think you can see my mouse, right? So I later deduced the DH parameters for this drone and simulated the movement of the end effector in SIMULINK. Later I'll also draft a video that explains fully this project, right? So this is a rotating drum mixer in idiom. I'm sure you know idiom, a discrete element modeling software. I chose idiom because it's quite easier, plus the tutorials are available on the net. Unlike ANSYS Rock idiom, I couldn't find any software for it. So this was supposed to simulate two particles being mixed. So the first one, the red one, after some time the blue one. You can check it out on my website. Moving on, this was a what happened? Okay, so this was the CAD module. Let's go on to the next project. Okay, so this was a drowsiness detection system, right? Supposed to be used at construction places, right? But this was just a prototype. As you can see, it's detecting that I'm drowsy and also awake. Funny thing on this project, I only used 40 images, 20 images while being awake and 20 other images while being drowsy, and trained it using 410 epochs. Yeah, let's move on to the next project. Okay, this was a firefighting drone. I only drew the CAD model, right? I was using sketches given by the client, right? It's not my project. I was, as you can see, yeah, this one contains no color, this one is color. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is the Chigobu Lantern. The Chigobu Lantern is an initiative developed by Alwayne, such a great guy, inventor. So this was a cover, right? As you can see, they have cool products, right? Using waste to develop these lights. So Alwyn asked me to develop this module. They wanted to 3D print it, so he gave me some sketches, and as you can see, this was the final watch, the final 3D printed module. Go to the next project. Okay, so this one was a solar cleaning robot, right? I was just designing the CAD module. So it was just a CAD module. There wasn't any prototype development. Let's move on. As you can see, right, on to the next project. Yeah, this is a Tribe washing machine. This was actually my final year project. I will get into detail of what I did. This was some stress analysis on the frame, torque, like subjecting the shaft to some torsion and see if it will fail. Okay, so I've only uploaded a few projects on the website, but I will update more because I have done more, over 53 projects. So this was a brief introduction into my portfolio. So now I'm going to move into my tools of choice. So moving on to my tools of choice, guys. As an engineer, you have to be quite versed in a particular number of software depending on the field you are into. As you know, mechanical engineering is quite broad, right? So you have to know your kind of interest. So if you look on my taskbar, I'm sure it's the taskbar, right? This one. You can see the SolidWorks, right? So let's start with SolidWorks. I use SolidWorks for developing CAD modules and simulating. In SolidWorks, let's say I want to do some static simulation. I mainly use SolidWorks. I might use ANSYS static structural only for validation, but SolidWorks is my native CAD language, right? I don't use any other software. I only mastered SolidWorks. So how do I improve my SolidWorks every day? So if you look on my recent documents, I plan to draw a single CAD module each day. So yesterday we managed to model this electric iron, right? Let's wait while it's loading. Let's wait. Okay, so for yesterday we managed to model this electric iron, right? I will also produce a detailed video for how I did it. And the day before it was a mouse. As you can see, this mouse. So to improve my skills every day, so this was just the body. I later included the wheel, so it was an assembly. So to improve my SolidWorks skills, I make sure I draw a CAD module every day. So today I will also include a video for today's CAD module. So be sure to check out our channel. So moving on, as you can see on the taskbar, there is Tony. I code in Python. I only know Python when it comes to programming. I only know Python and I use Tony. Why? Because it's light. It's actually light. Yeah, it's light vision. That's why I use it. Moving on, a great one, ANSYS. For ANSYS, I only know how to use ANSYS Fluent, ANSYS Static Structural, though I don't use it much, and ANSYS Explicit Dynamics. So I also include videos of the projects I've worked on using ANSYS Explicit Dynamics. And my favorite, MATLAB. Actually, I can't really say I'm good at MATLAB. I'm good in using SIMULINK, like SIMULINK, SimScape, right? Though I include some functions, some MATLAB functions in my SIMULINK modules, right? But I'm not really good. If you ask me to code raw MATLAB code, I do not want to lie, guys. I'm not really that good. Then idiom, as you can see, I once showed you a video for discrete element modeling. If you look closely, you will see these software are linked, guys. So suppose I drew a module in SolidWorks, right? and I want to simulate it in idiom. I just save it as a step file, since step file is the standard step file, or other formats, to idiom, right? Then the Arduino, who doesn't have an Arduino, guys? Who doesn't have the Arduino IDE, guys? Okay, this is shortcut. I'm actually recording this video right now. This is Proteus. So you know, Proteus is used for, it's actually similar to the Arduino, because you save your code in the Arduino IDE, right? Then you come to Proteus. So Proteus is like an electronic simulating software, right? I'm sure you've heard of Tinkercad, Walkie. Is it Walkie or Walkie? Yeah, they are online websites, right? So Proteus is like a cool version of those. Okay, so I'm going to describe my journey into freelancing. So it began while I was still in university in part 3. I always fancied learning the software. Suppose we had done a module, I wanted to apply it in a software. Suppose we had learned about, what can I say? Okay, let me give an example for when we did the robotics module, right? So we're calculating the DH parameters, calculating the angles, the length of the links. And I was like, where will I apply this? So when I started researching that, I saw that you can actually use SIMULINK to what? To make your calculations come to life, guys. So that's when I started learning. That's how I got into SIMULINK, right? It was a practical way of learning the what? Of learning the software. So moving on to my freelancing journey, as we got into projects in part 3, I saw that some of the students struggled in doing their simulations, right? So I started helping out my classmates. But as the demand grew on, I saw it as an opportunity to turn it into a what? As into a business. So far it's been 3 years I have worked on quite a number of projects. So I will be explaining them one by one. So watch out for the video. So what's coming next, guys? So what's the purpose of this channel? So this channel will be for tutorials, for walkthroughs, for real engineering solutions, for helping you on your journey. It might be hard to learn a software on your own, right? So suppose we might do a 30-day challenge where we draw each CAD module every day, where we do each simulation every day. Guys, let's grow together and become real engineers. So if that's something you are interested in, why don't you join us? Click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.